So The Joker was a massive success. Every time I think I'm done talking about this movie, though, something happened. So Joker made $1 billion. Pitchforks came out for this movie weeks before it even came out in the theater. And it was a fun couple of weeks because every day there was something about this movie. Oh my God, it's gonna cause riots and all this crazy stuff. People were going after this movie. Nothing, of course, happened. I think because it's funny, the media was covering every single little petty thing that happened. Breaking news, man jaywalks to get to the Joker. It was really stupid, really dumb. Like, I think there was a public intoxication, and then people were smoking in one theater. They got kicked out. That was enough for multiple news outlets to cover it. It's kind of humorous. But things have kind of subsided because what are they going to do? Seemed like they were moving on to The Invisible Man. That seemed to be their next movie. And then you see these kind of articles pop up where it seems like they're trying to take it back. Have you ever heard that phrase before, take it back? Basically, something's, went in a different direction, and you don't like the way things are going with it, so you're going to take it back, bring it back to your side. So it seems like, hey, we failed on the Joker. How can we salvage this? Well, let's change the narrative. Joker isn't a product of, privilege and all this stuff. Instead, Joker is now the victim of toxic masculinity. Not him himself being toxic, but because of the men that made up his life.
How dare you?
So here's the new Reach. This is what they're going to try to do now because they've lost the argument on this. So, hey, let's see if we can twist it and maybe bring it back. We'll take it back. We'll have the Joker now. So the new Reach, how toxic masculinity created Todd Phillips' film. So basically what's going on here is they want to say it was the men in the movie that pushed him to this craziness. So basically men, angry, testosterone-filled men full of toxicity, pretty much twisted the Joker and turned him into an agent of testosterone. So this is what they're going to push now. Okay, so what's their argument? Well, Arthur is a meek and introverted person seeking approval in his comedy career. However, he isn't that good working as a clown on the street and at kids' hospitals to earn money to take care of Penny. Arthur is just trying to get by and do right by his mom. It doesn't help, though, that his life is filled with encounters with, you guessed it, toxic men. So now that'll be the new narrative. I'm honestly surprised they didn't go this way the first time. I'm really surprised by that. But nonetheless, they made the mistake and end up making this movie a massive success with all of their smearing, creating a massive Streisand effect. So it starts with a teen gang who steal his work sign and beat him up in an alley. A boss without compassion, clients who treat him like dirt, and colleagues who don't respect him. The common denominator? They're all male, resorting to foul language and violence to assert power over Arthur, who's far from aggressive and comes off as effeminate.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
So there's a stretch, I don't remember him ever acting feminine in the movie, but, let's go ahead and plant that seed there, I guess. And of course, these mean old men, they're gonna take Arthur. So there's pretty much what they're trying to do. They fill it out, pretty much go over their whole movie and pick out every man. They talk about the people he takes out on the train because they were bullying him. So of course, what's the correct response to bullies? Well, we take them out, which is pretty much what he did. And in a way, the article almost kind of condones that, though they say they don't condone it. But let's be clear, toxic men are bad. They're bad, and they got to go. So authors, that work for CBR, I'm sure, do condone taking out toxic men in the most brutal of fashions, because toxic men are the real problem, aka normal men. So that's right, men, slip that skirt on, let your feminine side out, stop being such a toxic male, come over to the normal side, and we can stop with these articles. So anyway, Thomas Wayne, another toxic male. So toxic because he wanted to get rid. So if you did, I mean, spoilers by now, I assume you've seen this. The movie made $1 million. So I'm going to assume everyone saw this movie. But what happens is it's revealed that Joker's mom is absolutely crazy, was obsessed with Thomas Wayne, and tried to pretty much pass off Arthur as Thomas Wayne's illegitimate son. That was never the case. And, you know, she's basically a crazy stalker. But no, everybody. It's really Thomas Wayne, a man who, I want to point out, had no idea who Arthur is. Arthur just comes into the bathroom and starts calling him Dad, and then reveals that his mother is the crazy lady that was so toxic, he had to get court orders to have her taken away from him, to have him, you know, pretty much can limit to how much contact and how far she can appear in front of him. So, but really, it's Thomas Wayne who's a toxic man because he's got money. Really, making him the evil one because he comes from a place of privilege. He punches the comedian for inquiring about whether or not he's Arthur's father. Thomas curses him on the way out, reminding him he's beneath the elite. Another case of a man who resorts to his fists instead of conversation. And this is something Arthur constantly rails about, Gotham's lack of civility. Something Phillips makes clear comes from these overly hostile men. Then there's the fact that Arthur was abused by Penny's ex-boyfriend, tied to a radiator and beaten to the point where he suffered brain damage. So here's the thing. They quickly get off the Thomas Wayne thing. And I like how the author doesn't even point out like the reasons that Thomas Wayne punched him. Like, Arthur was acting like an ass. How would you feel if you were in the bathroom and you got to think, you know, you're a rich guy. People are going to come at you all the time saying, you know, this is your baby and stuff like that, trying to get money from you. Thomas Wayne's eyes, this is Arthur trying to get some cash or something, trying to get a little bit of fame. He's just in the bathroom and hears this guy like arguing with him. No, you're definitely 100% my dad. It pissed him off. But hey, that doesn't matter. You can't just go to the bathroom and be okay. You have to be okay with weirdos coming up and challenging you. That's different. If you disagree with that, you're a toxic male. So that's another reach. It's totally his mom that was the problem in this movie. But that doesn't matter. He takes out his mom because he's sick, and it was helped by all of these angry, testosterone-driven men. Then they go on to talk about when he took out Robert De Niro. And basically, at this point of the film, Arthur's anger boils over after a lifetime of dealing with these toxic masculinity men. And he fully embraces his Joker persona. With his life clearly more comedy than tragedy, the comedian lashes out at the men who bully and bash them. So, there you go. I'm wondering how many more articles will come out like this, because once they get a narrative like this, they want to push it hard. And it's a way to take back the movie, claim it as theirs, and maybe get Todd Phillips to bend the knee for the sequel a little bit and get what they want. I'd like to think that wouldn't happen. Todd Phillips seems like a smart man. I think he'll notice the narrative that got him to $1 billion this time and double down on it. Let's hope anyway. Anyway, give me your thoughts. Give me your comments, your likes. What do you think about this theory? Do you think they'll take it back? Do you think this is going to be a new push? I'd like to hear your comments. Also, throw a like up. Likes and comments are what really push channels now. They help video engagement, and they're pretty much the best thing you can do to help out channels. Also, sharing the video helps. Also, make sure you're still subscribed. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment, make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new.